young kid, middle school. I was like, I wanted a kid. I broke up with a girl in middle school because she didn't want kids. Such a weird feeling. It wasn't like all this. Like after, for me, going to the club is fun after the fight. Hooking up one night stands are disgusting. Like, I can't imagine. I don't understand how someone could just meet someone and like go hook up with them. Like it took me 2-3 months to hook up with her. They beat you. You're like, man, how am I supposed to beat this guy when this guy's beating me?
Welcome to the Law of Attraction Secrets podcast. I'm your host, Natasha Graziano, and today we have flown to see the #1 UFC star in the fucking world. He is the #1 champ. You know who I'm talking about already. He won every single fight. Yes, that means he pretty much knocked out every single person he went in the ring with. Are you ready to meet? And you already know who he is, Sean O'Malley. What up?
Hello.
How are you?
Very good. How are you? Thank you for that introduction. The #1 champ in the world, won every single fight. You nailed it, killed it, spot on.
I love it. So fun. So, okay, mindset. Look, you have achieved so much, but your mindset, just from hanging out from you, like this short while, I've already seen you're super positive. You're always smiling. You reflect what you are. You're young, like you're 29. To have achieved this much at 29, what is your mindset like? Was it always this good?
I wouldn't say it was always this good, but I was always and still am trying to improve on it. I feel like it switched when I started reading when I was about 19 years old. I'm from Helena, Montana, played sports my whole life, started kickboxing when I was 16. Naturally had like a winner's mentality. Like I wanted to win. I was very competitive, hated losing. Once I started reading like mind training books and I think I don't remember, like the first one was called like Gym Mind or something like that. It was about thinking and stuff I hadn't thought about. That's really when I started to be able to see a difference in my mindset into training. But yeah, so that started when I was probably about 19 years old, about 10 years ago.
Wow. So then into your training, did you start like applying it? Did you start, because you always had that competitive mindset, right?
Yeah.
So you just never like losing. I mean, who the fuck likes losing?
Yeah, no, it sucks.
No, it sucks. Like totally sucks. You just want to win every single, even if I play like, I don't know, pickleball, I want to win.
Yes.
Like anything I do, I want to win. But otherwise, why do it?
What stands out for me was like being 19, 20 years old, moving from Montana to Phoenix and training with real professionals, real UFC fighters, training with really, really good, skilled people, and losing sparring. I would go on a Wednesday or Saturday and lose some sparring rounds, get my ass kicked, and it would ruin my whole week. It would ruin the whole day for sure. Could even ruin the day. I wake up just like not thinking,
Wow.
just thinking I lost or got beat up, and it was just like, maybe this isn't for me. I was always able to bounce back and get back on the right track and get back to the gym, but we're learning how to lose and just being like, okay, it's okay to not win every sparring session, not win every grappling match or at practice. It's just practice. What really matters is that specific date in that specific arena against that specific opponent. Because there's training partners that you go train with, they beat you. You're like, man, how am I supposed to beat this guy when this guy's beating me? And just learning that it matters that day, that time, that moment, and that's where I feel like I'm the best in the world. I show up every time.
I love that. Showing up every time. You're right, because every day we get a choice, right? How are you going to show up? Are you going to be the best at who you are, or are you going to be #2 to somebody else? Are you going to try and be like somebody? Did you ever have an idol in the UFC? Was there anybody that you looked up to when you were growing up going, wow, I want to be like them one day?
I would not really, because I didn't watch fighting. I remember I was young, like 12, 13 years old. My dad was watching fighting, and I thought it was just disgusting. Watching him get kicked in the ribs, punched in the head. I literally thought it was disgusting. I'm like, how could anyone even do that? I played basketball, baseball, soccer, football, played all these ball sports, and so it's funny now to look back and what I do. But yeah, I didn't. I forgot where I was going with that, but I did not like the fighting aspect. I thought it was disgusting.
So you didn't look up to
Oh,
anybody?
idols, that's
Yeah.
right.
There was no one
No, I
that you
didn't look
just
up
like.
to anybody really until I would say, Connor kind of came on the scene. I had just recently started watching the UFC. I started training before I really, watched the UFC. But once I remember being about 18, 19 years old, Connor was fighting like Max Holloway, and I was like, oh shit, this guy can talk, he can fight, and it was very entertaining. And ever since then, I've really looked up to, Connor's path and what he's done, and how much money he's made, and how much success he's had, and yeah, massive
He
Connor.
lives around the corner from me.
Really?
Yeah, literally
In
like
his yacht?
3 houses. No, in his home.
Ah.
3 houses down from me. Okay, so that's really interesting that you, because the thing is, I always ask people, who's your idol? I never had one.
Mhm.
It was a really hard thing for me because of my lane. I'm like, I'm completely unique in my field, right? There's nobody above me. I'm like, I guess I like Oprah, but I guess I like this person. I feel like I'm a combination of like, if Oprah and Kim Kardashian had a threesome with Tony Robbins, I'm like the love child. Like,
That'd be interesting.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there is not necessarily an idol. We're paving the way. Like, you are paving the way for every other person that's coming up. You're paving the way for everyone who's going to be the next biggest thing after you, whenever that, we're talking like 10 years.
Well, I feel like, I have a lot of fighters that I train with that, I feel like I could, that do look up to me in different, and not just fight, like the fighting aspect of it, but how I manage my career, how I deal with sponsorships, how I, yeah, just there's like the financial side of fighting. And
what is that like? Like, people don't really talk about that. Like, every artist has their financial side, right? Everybody has their incoming, their like whole world of business. And a lot of people, a lot of athletes, they just play the sport, but they don't think about the other parts of it, the entrepreneurial side of it.
I've always thought about that, like coming up, even when I was 16, 17 years old, selling like the Sugar t-shirts and stuff. I say I make twice as much money this year. I was just, looking through my taxes, and I made pretty much over twice as much money outside of fighting than I made fighting. And people are like, oh, the UFC doesn't pay well. I got paid this year I'm good. I'm very happy with I got paid. I just made twice as much outside
Wow.
of the sugar merch and stuff. And that is crazy to people because, it's just a lot of money to make, not, outside of what I do as my number one career is fighting. And I made more money doing other stuff. Granted, I only fought once this year. But yeah, so I think a lot of fighters can, or do look up to me in that way. Like, how is he making so much money? And it's just it's relationships with brands, and obviously social media. You gotta know how to work social media and all that stuff. So I do think younger fighters are looking up to me in that aspect too.
Learning how to build their world, because you're right. What if something takes you out? What are you doing? Like, where's your money? Are you looking after yourself? How are you building generational wealth? How are you creating an impact? Like, you're a dad. Like, I respect that so much. You're the best dad. I've watched you with your daughter. You're such a beautiful soul.
Thank you.
To be like so inspirational. That's a really big part of the things that I like about you. You're such a good dad. So like when you're with your kid, like you're building wealth for her. Like you're building.
She's rich.
Yeah.
She's on the payroll. She gets paid.
I love it. My son's on my payroll.
Yeah.
That's for tax reasons, really.
Yeah, exactly. But it's gonna be it's the fine line of not spoiling her too much, and
yes,
that's gonna be tricky. Right now she's 3, so it's a little bit different. But the older she gets, instilling discipline in her and hard work, and not just giving her everything. But it's so hard when she's so cute.
I know. Trust me. It's like, I have my son. He's so cute, and he's like, "Mom, I'm in the toy shop with you right now," and he's like, "There's 3 things I want." I'm like, "You're getting 1." He's like, "Mommy, please."
Oh, I know.
And they look at you, but little girls for their daddies is like too much. Like it's the biggest melt ever.
Yeah.
How do you say no to her? You just don't.
Well, I haven't been. I tried to teach her how to do push-ups, but she's still a little too young for there. So I'm thinking, bust out 10 push-ups and we can talk.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to, try to get her to, earn stuff. Give her chores, and right now, and she likes cleaning. I mean, she's Mexican. She just naturally, she grabs the sponge and starts spraying. She'll clean the counters, and she'll try to mop. She loves cleaning. So.
Oh my God, maybe she'll have like a professional cleaning business all over America.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that could be insane.
Yeah.
We can hear her. See, she knows when we're talking about her.
Yeah, she's wanting something. She's wanting something. They're cleaning.
They're cleaning. Oh my God, that's so cute. Okay, so let's dive in to you and how you got through some things you went through. Tell me something you went through in your life. Like, is there a moment in your life that was difficult? There must have been a time when you thought, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, you're on the breaking point of quitting. Maybe you've been through something as a child. What was that moment for you, or maybe multiple, that you went through?
I would go back to when I moved to Phoenix and was training with killers. Like I was in Montana, I was kind of the man. I was beating people up, knocking people out, and never really seen that next level of fighting. Montana's such a small, populated state, and I moved to Phoenix and realized real fast I'm not as good as I thought I was. So that was definitely the biggest hurdle. I wanted to quit. Like I said, I always kind of came back to. I was always back in the gym the next day. Always like, well, I know I'm capable of becoming as good as these guys are, because I knew I was a good athlete, and I knew I had that passion and that desire, and that just I had that, not necessarily the skills yet, but I had the passion and desire to want to be that good. So I knew I was able to eventually, but still there was multiple times you go to the gym and it's not just hard. You're getting your head punched in, you're having concussions, you're having headaches, your injuries, and
Oof.
and that was the toughest, being 19, 20, 21, 22 years old. I mean, there's still times now I'm the champ. I go to the gym. There's days I get whooped, and it's, now I know how to cope with it, deal with it. It's all just good work. But back then it was very, very hard to deal with.
Wow, that is interesting. Well, the only reason I can relate to it in anyways, because I was a gymnast and I competed for the south of England for the nationals in my country, right, when I was in the UK. And I remember falling down doing a backflip on the beam.
Ow.
Yeah, right. It was so painful. And I landed like boom on the beam. It was so painful. And I remember being like, oh my God, I just wanted to quit right there and then. But so many people are watching and like you're in performance mode. So I was like, I either walk out now, and I was young, but I was like, I'm going to get back up. And I just remember getting back up. And just even with the pain of whatever I'd just gone through, numbing it in my mind, using my mind as like my tool, and then deciding to get through it. And I actually went on to get in that one, considering I fell third place, which was good.
Right.
And then I started winning gold after, back to where I was. But I just decided to commit and be like, I am not going to just give up because of one setback. It's the same in life, right?
100%. It's cool. Like I have a bunch of buddies. One's standing back there, Schmitty and Sono and all these kids. It's a funny story. I met them playing. I used to stream on Xbox. I used to stream on Twitch. And these guys would always be in my chat. Lived in different states. And now they're all my buddies. They all live in
No
a house down the road.
way.
But it's cool to see them see me and be like, oh shit, like you can live, different than just normal. And to see all those guys see that switch in their mind and chase their own dreams. But
That's so beautiful. So you're inspiring everybody around you.
Yeah, and they inspire me too, 100%. Like especially the guys that people that go to the gym that work 9 to 5. And then you see them at jiu-jitsu, we're doing 5:30 class and 6:30 class. I'm like, my full-time job is to train, and these guys' full-time job is to do something else, and then they're still in the gym.
Wow.
So people that are at jiu-jitsu definitely inspire me.
That is so beautiful. I love that. I did jiu-jitsu once. I'm really good. No, more than once.
Okay.
I'll show you a move after.
A little rear naked.
Yeah. I will show you a chokehold.
The rear naked. It's when you're behind them. And
this one. Yeah. And I can do my legs. I can really flexible. So yes.
Okay.
Oh, of course you know all the words. I forget who I'm sitting next to. I'm just like going up on it. Oh no, I'm really good. My legs are strong as fuck.
Girls
like,
usually have strong legs.
Like I can hold.
You guys gave birth. So
that's it. I remember. Yeah, after I gave birth, I realized like I'm tough.
Yeah, women are different.
Yeah. Women are, you know what? It's so funny because the pain that men go through, women go through childbirth. Like it's like pushing a watermelon out your fucking penis. Like it's so fucking painful.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I'm so glad I am not. My job's easy.
Yeah.
I get it. I can get it done quick. I can get it.
Babe, don't. I'm like wanting loads of babies right now. I'm in like broody season. You're the same?
Well, I like we were talking about earlier. I always felt like even when I was young kid, middle school, like I wanted a kid. I broke up with a girl in middle school because she didn't want kids, and so I've always battled with wanting. I mean, it's funny you brought up Nick Cannon, just a bunch of different baby mamas, because I've always wanted a bunch of different babies from different baby mamas. Danny does not like hearing that, and I've told her that a lot, and she hates hearing it. But I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I want it, but then I'm like, holy shit, do I really want to deal with a bunch of different crazy girls?
So wait, how are you gonna like be with one for? Because I believe in multiple soulmates. So I believe that, babe, I will give you 3 to 5 years, but at the point when it starts going stale, I'm fucking out. And I don't care because, I mean, I don't want my kid growing up seeing no love. Like, that's not cool.
Yeah.
And so I believe, like, I kind of rate the Nick Cannon thing. I kind of rate it, but like, wait, are you saying you're just going to like pop one in there and then go to another one the next day, or at least going to give one of them 10 years?
I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. Right now, obviously, I have one princess with Danny, and she doesn't really want more kids. Sometimes I'm like, I could be fine with one. I could be happy with one, but sometimes I feel like there's this desire to, have
Procreate.
I want a tribe. And sometimes like you have to be financially successful a lot to have multiple kids, especially with different women, 'cause they're crazy. So I don't know. Danny wouldn't even like me saying that, but that's how I feel sometimes.
You know what? If you suppress the desire, the truth is, and I do, bear in mind, babe, I coach like some of the top stars in the world, and you see them on my page. Like, and they sit, and if they have a desire, they suppress. I guarantee 1 year later, they are already fucking doing that thing, or they are screaming inside and depressed because of like when you suppress a desire, particularly your purpose or birthing children, which is another purpose, you like suppress your thing, you can end up feeling like shit way, it's tough. So I've seen people who are like, I really want kids. Like one of the big DJs I look after, he wants babies so bad. Every time he sees me, he's like, I want to give you a baby, please. And I'm like, sweetie, you're on tour 300 days a year.
Yeah.
Like 65 days is not enough for me. But unless I was with you on tour, but I have a career too.
Yeah.
So I'm like, but babies it's innate within us. Like my mom gave birth to actually 6 of us. There's only 5 of us now, but like kids is something which like if you want it, you have to follow your heart.
Yeah.
Nothing is gonna stop it because otherwise you just rebirth that dream in a year. You rebirth that dream in 6 months. You rebirth that thing. Like I get when people go and say, "My dad had 5 marriages."
Oh wow.
Like I get it. I get it when somebody's like, but you don't even have to put a ring on it. I think you can just like have your baby mom relationship and be engaged and be like, that's cool. And like, I love this person. Like,
I know it's very tricky, and I definitely don't have the answers to it. And I'm living it. I'm trying to figure out life too. But
do your friends have kids?
no, I'm the only one with kids like in my friend group.
Yeah.
But
I was too, by the way. So I had my son at 26, and I was like the first, and was till I was 31.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. And I moved to America, and I was like, finally, other young moms. Like I can like see other people and not be judged for it. Like when I was in the UK, I was showing up to my son's private school. They were all like 40. Yeah. And I was like, hey, I'm in my late 20s and I dress like a Barbie. And like, I feel like, I'm like, I don't have many things that are fake. Like, I'm just like, I just love life. I just live it and I don't have a fucking filter.
Yeah.
And like, they would look at me and I would have my hair braided like yours, but down. Like, and I'd have like blonde or pink hair. Like, I'll have to show you a picture in a second when we finish. All the way down. And they would be like, what is that?
I feel similar when I walk in the
Do you get that too?
Yeah.
It's so funny the world we live in. But what do you do about judgment? What do you do with like haters and shit?
I feel like I do a really good job. I mean, I've gotten it for a long time on social media, judgment, hate, this, that. But it's not easy. This guy right here has he reads one YouTube comment, he'll flare up and ruin his day. But I mean,
that's loyalty.
A lot of our relationship's been crazy. Danny, people message Danny. It's not easy to deal with, but I feel like I've truly like gotten to a point to where it really just doesn't bother me because I'm like, why would if something bothers me that someone random person's saying, it's like that's a weakness. That's a mental weakness.
Yeah.
That you really care what someone else is saying. But unless it's true. Like a lot of these people will say something about Schmitty that's probably true, and that's what fires him up is because he knows it's true. Or he thinks it's true. And so I think it comes down to a mental weakness if you really care what other people think. If you're being a good person, which I do truly believe I am a good person, I don't really.
I can see that.
Someone's not really gonna bother me with what they say.
Do you fight on the street?
No. I'm not really an aggressive person or confrontational.
I didn't get that vibe from you. But how do you, like, because you're so good at it. So when people come up to you, that no, don't fuck with him.
Everyone
like,
I've never really had an issue people trying to fuck with me in the street. Usually it's just fans or like, oh, there's my picture.
When you were young, like if anybody would like, because you knew from a young age how to like knock someone
When I
out.
was
Like
16 when I started fighting, still never really fought. I still didn't really like confrontation.
wait, you only did this since you were 16.
I started kickboxing when I was 16. Yeah, yeah.
And you went to #1 in the world in like less than 10 years. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yo, that is a crazy trajectory.
Yeah, we're going fucking.
So what are you doing next? Like, what's your like next purpose? Apart from babies, your next like.
Yeah, well, I'm fighting in Miami March 9th. I'm fighting a big rematch against this kid named Cheeto. So that's a massive fight.
Can I come watch?
You very well can. Miami's gonna be a movie.
Put it in the diary. We're gonna totally do that.
14 weeks. So right now I'm gonna be entering camp soon, and I'm gonna have that specific date locked in. So usually when you have a specific date for a fight, you don't really think too far out of like what's next. Like that's
got it.
That's all that's happening.
Can you imagine a life where you effortlessly magnetize your dreams to you? Financial success, the love of your life, the family of your dreams, and everything you've ever dreamed of at your fingertips. With my approach to manifesting, I have a practical method where you use the power of your creative words. It's called scripting. We write in the past tense in a certain way to attract all our desires to us. I've done this. I met my husband in 3 weeks doing this. I helped myself heal twice. I helped myself get rid of a rash on my body. I have helped myself to elevate myself and get myself out there to so many people. I've changed my bank account number. I've added 2 zeros onto it. I have created abundance like I could never dream of. The most beautiful homes around the world. And you can do this too, like so many of my clients are currently doing right now. The success stories speak for themselves. I want to show you how to do it. This is for somebody who is ready though. Don't even bother coming unless you are ready to transform your life. If you feel like, oh, I'm on the fence, I don't know, none of this shit really works, then baby, it doesn't work. It doesn't work for you. This works for somebody who says, I'm ready. I'm ready to try something else. Try using the power of my words. I want to learn in a curriculum. I want to be in a group with other like-minded individuals, and I want to win. This is for entrepreneurs who are ready to go to the next level, or maybe get out of corporate America and go to the entrepreneurship world. If you're ready, come and join us inside the Scripting Society, and I'll see you there.
So you're training, and do you train here or do you train in Miami or like?
Nope, I'll train here. I have everything I need 20 minutes from my house. I used to train in this garage, but I'm building a warehouse on my other property right now, so this one's kind of empty.
That's
yeah,
so
train in
cool.
Arizona.
And I love, like, we're going to go to it in a second about your farm, because I grew up on a farm. I didn't know you did too.
Yeah.
Like,
I did not grow up on a farm, but
you chose to go to
Now
a
I have a
farm.
little farm.
I want to live on a ranch. Oh my God. Like, I want to drive around on a tractor and collect eggs, jump off, go on the lake. My girlfriend has a ranch. And like, it's so dreamy.
Yeah.
She built it to have kids, and then they didn't have kids yet. But she's like, I really want to. Like, it's this dreamy place. There's like ducks on the pond, and like you can go on the lake and like machine. Yeah. And I love all that. But the animals are so beautiful. She has like a zorse, like a half zebra and a horse.
That's crazy.
I love all that stuff. I love it so much. Like, animals are beautiful. Like, just eating the food fresh from the land.
Yeah.
Are you really clean and healthy?
Yeah, I've always, not always, but since probably about 2021, I started learning about nutrition and health, and I feel like each year it gets better and better. But yeah, I have chickens, so fresh eggs every morning. That's, eggs and oatmeal I eat. That's my breakfast. We have a cow. She came with the property, and she was supposed to get butchered August 10th. And we ended up taking her off the butcher list, and now we just have a pet cow with zero, like, she doesn't have milk, she's not pregnant, we're not going to butcher her for the meat. So we just have a random pet cow, and then I looked up how long they live, and they live to like 40 years old. So we got that, and we have a tortoise who's just 2 or 3 years old.
How big?
He's pretty small right now, but he's gonna be have you seen the massive turtles?
He's gonna grow to a big one?
Yeah.
We had 2 in Morocco at a house there, and they were the most beautiful things.
Like 100.
No, seriously, they'll go through all your generations.
Yeah, so Elena's gonna have a cow and a tortoise.
And a tortoise, and then her kids will have a tortoise.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's so beautiful. Animals are so gorgeous. Like, I love picking fruit. I just found a lime tree in my. You have fruit?
Many trees.
No, oh my God, what, you grow fruit?
We have what? Limes, lemons,
Can we just do a
oranges,
whole episode where it's like
grapefruit,
Natasha picking
apples.
fruit on Sean's
Danny's growing
front?
what? Basil, tomatoes.
Oh my God, stop. I love it.
Yeah, what time's your flight?
Like 7, something like that.
After this, you guys can come out to the farm if you want.
Oh my
check
God,
it out.
yes. I want to go pick fruit. I love it. One of my favorite, I'll show you a video. One of my favorite things is take my son and we go fruit picking.
Yeah.
It's my,
Elaine loves it too.
you know, it's so good. My son loves it. It's so good for your mental health picking fruit. There is actually science behind picking fruit.
Yeah.
It's so good for your mental health.
I believe that. Every time I go and grab eggs out of the coop, I'm just it's something feels good. Yeah.
I love getting the eggs. I grew up with chickens, so we would go every morning and we would go in the little hutches things, and we would go and get our eggs, and they were so warm and they were beautiful and fresh, and we would just make our eggs. How do you eat your eggs?
A little runny, a little easy.
I make the meanest eggs.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't make them that good. Danny usually makes me food, but I've been having to make my own lately, cause.
Okay, so I'll cook for you one day.
Yeah, I would love that.
I'm totally gonna
I'm not
cook
a
for you.
cooker.
I'm gonna cook for you one day.
I'm a supplier.
Yeah, good.
provider.
No, but that's it. Everyone has their lane.
Yeah.
Like he does this, she does this, and that's what creates love.
Yeah, yeah.
Later.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go into the law of attraction, because that's what this show is, and everybody listens to it and they want to know how particular people who are super successful in their area use their positive mindset. Like, do you wake up and have any morning rituals? What is your $1 million routine?
You could consider it a $1 million routine. My morning routine, night routine is just, it's funny, real quick. I remember when I was 16 years old and I watched the show. I think it was called Law of Attraction.
The Secret.
The Secret.
Yeah.
I watched that show and something clicked in my head, and I remember telling my friends about it, my brother about it, and it just didn't. Maybe I didn't relay the message, but they're like, "You sound crazy." I'm like, "I do a little bit," but I think just having that law of attraction, whatever you want to call it, and thinking about it every day, allows you to make the right decisions every day. So you still have to put in the work, but if you think about it enough, you will do the right things to kind of get to where I'm at. The fact that I'm have made as much money as I made and done what I've done in this life, it's wild to me, but I truly believed it was possible. Back to the morning routine. I've been cold plunging for probably about 5-6 years now. That's a huge part of my morning routine, night routine. Very religious about that. So I wake up, I go outside, let the chickens out. You gotta put them in at night so I don't get attacked by coyotes. But I literally go outside, let the chickens out, come inside. I have a red light mat, just a red light. Do that for about 20 minutes.
You sit in front of it, meditate?
I've been doing a Waking Up. Sam Harris, he's a neuroscientist. The Waking Up app. It's a meditation app.
Oh, I have it, yeah.
Yeah.
It's so
do
good.
that every morning.
With your red light on.
With my red light.
I have a red light in my house. It's so good.
It's very nice. And the PEMF machine.
Yeah, PEMF.
Yes, I have that. I do that.
You lay on it?
12-minute cycle. It's a mat you lay on when you put a mat on top of you. So it's like a sandwich. You do that for 12 minutes. And I do the cold plunge for 2 minutes. And that's, pretty much my morning routine, eggs and oatmeal in the morning. And then I make some of the best coffee. I make delicious coffee. But I try not to have my caffeine for about an hour and a half after I wake up, because I heard Andrew Huberman say that's like the best time to have caffeine. So that's pretty much my morning routine. Have my coffee and then go to the gym. So I train every morning around 10:30, depending on what I'm doing that day. But that's my morning routine pretty much every single morning. And I've been doing a good solid morning routine for a long time, and I just add little things to it, or I'll take things away. Sometimes I journal. In camp, I journal every day.
Really? What do you journal about?
The day, what the training sessions look like, what I want to get out of it, how many days are left to the fight, what I want to do in the fight. Just depends on.
You're scripting what I teach. You're literally scripting when you journal. Yeah, you're literally writing it what you desire.
A lot of the stuff I do was to become the best fighter in the world, and then I look at it now. I'm like, okay, this is just how to become a happy human. Like, this is just how to live. This is how you should just live life in general. But for me, it's hard to do. It's easier to do it because I'm doing it for a specific reason. I want to be the best fighter in the world. Sometimes for people that don't have that passion, it's harder for them to do it for whatever reason. Because after fights, I catch myself my discipline in all the areas kind of just go out the window. But I think it's like a pendulum where it's so extreme discipline, but after the fight, I'm I had to balance it out with the club and doing all the shit I should do. Then it balances out, and then it comes down to it, time to get back to work. So I live on a very extreme discipline, and then I would never say I go too extreme on the craziness, but
Do you drink?
I drink when I need to.
What the fuck does that mean?
Like for me, going to the club is fun after the fight. Taking the boys out and celebrating, like that shit's so fun.
That's so
But
fun.
after a while, I noticed like if in 2-3 months, the fight's over and it's like it's like fuck. Sometimes the club's not. I don't like it, but I actually am taking all the boys to Vegas December 16th. I have a club appearance at Zouk in Resorts World. There's fights in Vegas December 16th, so we're doing like an after party there.
Oh my God,
2 weeks.
amazing.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I love taking the boys to the club.
Yo, that is so fun. I haven't been to a club in so long. I go and watch some of my artists.
December 16th, Vegas.
Yeah, no, apparently, that's so fun. I watch a lot of my artists perform, so I go to their like concerts or like I'll show up to like their, performances or whatever, things like that. And then they know I'm like, peace out at midnight. I'm like 1 a.m. like good night.
Really? That's
Yeah.
smart.
No, but I'm really disciplined. Like I don't drink. I think
Really?
no. So I
would
have
suggest not drinking to any. Like I would always recommend like alcohol is not the best thing for you unless you can do it. Unless you are disciplined enough to
exactly
do it not
responsibly.
too much.
But you're good at it. Like I feel like if you can perform at this level and be the best fighter in the world, then you can therefore do what you want in the outside times because you stay lean.
Yeah.
Like I don't put on weight, so like
Same.
you don't either.
No, not really.
Are you like the boy version
think
of
so.
me? I'm seeing like we have way
It's
too
been
much.
a oddly
Similar thing. Like I'm like, whoa, we went meant to meet. Wait, you're Scorpio, right?
right October.
Yeah, and
24th.
what the fuck? Everyone knows on my story, I just did 3 days before today. So like before the season ended, I had 3 Scorpios on my show back to back, which was really weird, artists and whatever. And then I was like, I looked at my chart, this like astrology thing, which to be fair, I'm not that into, but I started going really deep into it. My sign with the Scorpio, man, is everything. I was like, yo, my soulmate is a Scorpio. I'm like, hey, I meet someone. What sign are you? They're like, Aries. I'm like, ciao. I'm like, what? That was actually my ex was an Aries. No, that's not a dig at you, sweetheart. Just, it ain't for me. Okay, so like, then there'll be like another one. I'll be like, what sign are you? He's like, I'm a Scorpio. I'm like, oh.
Really?
I'm like, you might have a chance. If you get past date 1, that this is good.
What if your Scorpio perfect husband, boyfriend, whatever, you guys are in love, it's been a couple years, you guys have a couple kids, says, hey, I kind of like this girl too.
We join her in.
You like that?
Yeah.
You would be possible. Sorry, there's a bug flying, no gnat flying. You would be open to the idea of that.
Of her coming into our thing.
Yes.
I wouldn't want him to go and have a separate house and a separate relationship. I would be like, let's have her in our world and be like, let's do this and be like, because the truth is, I know at about 3 years, most humans, whether they admit it or not, and God knows how you get to 8, babe. Well done.
10.
Yo, I mean, that's amazing. Like,
it's up and down. It's not all perfect.
But like 3 years is like where you start to feel like you need excitement.
I think that's why ours has lasted so long, because one of the first things I ever said to our first conversation was like, we weren't like, I was flirting-ish, but I'm like, I don't understand marriage. I don't understand how you could have, hook up with one person the rest of your life. One of our first conversations we've ever had. So we've always been in an open relationship where, I mean, it's definitely never been, it's not just fucking up, there's ups and downs, and you go through, I feel bad.
Are you cool about the open stuff? Like, what about if the girl goes and does her thing?
All the time. And it's funny because Danny's always been she's like, I think hooking up one night stands are disgusting. Like, I can't imagine. I don't understand how someone could just meet someone and like go hook up with them. Like, it took me 2-3 months to hook up with her.
I actually agree with her on that. Like, I don't do one night stands. Like, people, there's no rapper, musician, or athlete who can sit, or actor, and say, I fucked her, because I just don't do it. You have to be like in my heart to be with me.
Yeah, I think that's how Danny is too, because I haven't had to deal with it. She's never hooked up with anybody or went on a date with anybody, so I've never had to really feel those emotions. I've definitely put her through a lot of stuff.
But you've not met one that you want to actually like do the like round 2 with?
I don't know if that, I mean, Danny just doesn't really seem like she's up for that, but we'll see where things go. I put her through a lot. But I do think that's how we've lasted this long is because I've been very honest with her and been like, hey, this is who I am.
Were you always like this? Because I feel like, yeah, so in my core, like it goes viral every time I talk about this shit. Like, I don't believe in being with one person forever. I believe that we are here to procreate and we are here to meet people and advance and have amazing things. And then as long as that goes and then bounce, like I would just be like, baby, if this, and we have a baby together, we have 2 babies together, like you don't feel it anymore, like fuck you would. But if you didn't feel it and you get to that point of like, 3, 5 years, I'd be like, sweetie, go do your thing. Come see your baby whenever you want. It's your kid. Like, I would be the best ex-girlfriend. I would be the fucking worst ex-girlfriend to have for your next bitch. But like, I would be, because they would, I'm a crazy motherfucker. They would look at you and be like, if I'm somebody's ex, I'm like, that's your ex? And I'm not talking about looks. I'm just talking about my fucking social media presence. Like, that's your ex? Like, it's just like.
Funny time. I mean, Danny and I, we go through some ups and downs, and she doesn't even really like when I talk about relationship stuff. I wish she was still in here because it would make it easier. But yeah, sometimes we fight, and it's usually because I'm fucking around doing stuff. But I've always just told her like you knew what you signed up for. It wasn't. I never switched up. When I didn't have money, I was the same person. I was the same like.
Really?
Yeah. When I remember in high school, I'd date 2 chicks from different schools because they didn't know each other, and I liked them both. But
This is so funny. Wow, I do feel like you're the male version of me. This is so weird, but like,
Danny does, I mean,
but how do you do it? Yeah, exactly. What if the girl's like just as promiscuous and like
I don't know if I would be
able to handle it?
attracted to it. I don't know if
Yeah,
I would be attracted to it. I think I'm attracted to,
loyalty.
well, loyalty and she's very, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. It's weird. It's hard to even,
No, I get it because it is a one-way thing, but the truth is it doesn't work both ways. It
yeah.
like I've seen relationships where the girl does it too and the guy just goes off it.
Yeah, I
Like
don't, I mean, it depends too. Are you talking about a beta male or an alpha male? Alpha, I mean, it's not gonna work for an alpha.
alpha, no, you're
Danny came home
alpha.
and said, hey, this fucking dude just fucked me. I'm like, all right, give me my keys back to all my houses and my cars, and I'll take care of you. But I think, and that's probably the reality of it. I've never had to deal with it, and it's hard. I feel kind of an asshole even saying that, but that's just probably where my mind would go. I don't know. It's never happened, so I can't say it would go one way or the other. But I just feel like I'm like I don't know, mentally, emotionally, I probably couldn't handle
It's because you're an alpha and you're a Scorpio. So put like, and the number one in your field. So let's just go there. The number one, the fucking Scorpio king, and then you're an alpha. Like the mix together, there is no way another dick is coming near you. Like it's just not a thing.
Yeah, and I've like, okay, I tried, I mean, that is partially my ego too, with all those material things and all this stuff. I'm like, maybe you should be happy with someone else, but then it's like, I want Danny to be truly happy. So whether it's with me or not with me, it's like I would want her to choose happiness over status or whatever it is. But she's also, it's like, if she ever wanted to go, and it's like, she knows she'd be losing a lot of whatever, but maybe that doesn't matter to her. I don't know.
You know so funny. Okay, wait, you talked about The Secret and I loved it because you were saying like you watched it and your friends thought you were crazy. I watched it as well, but when I was 15 and I was like, oh my God, this is like gonna change my life. And it did. Change my life. Like everything about my life changed from that day forward.
Yeah.
And I dramatically progressed my life at a later stage watching it again, and then I still watch it. Rhonda's been on the show. She's like my mentor, the writer of The Secret, the author of The Secret.
I've never watched it since I was like 16.
Oh, you should watch it again.
Interesting, because I don't remember. I remember how like it changed my
How it
life, but I
felt.
don't remember like I could rewatch it right now and be like, oh shit, like learn.
It's new, yeah. But well, actually, every time I watch it, I learn something new. Even though I coach with the guys in it, John Asraf's been on. I coach with him in his program. Michael Beck, with all the guys in it, I sit on stages with, and we coach together in their programs. Like it's normal for me now, but I still learn more. It's so interesting. So, did you implement like the law of attraction there, or did it just shape your life?
It's hard to remember back being like that young little buck, 16, 17 years old, watch it. I just remembered how powerful it felt, me telling my brother about it, and I'm like, I never started, I didn't start meditating really until it was probably 2021. But I remember like that night after watching, I went and laid down and just wanted to be rich and famous. Tried to picture stuff like that. I don't know how much that shaped anything, but always like 16, 17, 18 in Montana. I was always training. I didn't drink till I was 21. I didn't smoke till I was 20 till I moved to Arizona. So I feel like that was super beneficial. But I was always training every day, even if it wasn't the best training because it just wasn't the best, but it was the best I could get in Montana. So every day was something that would benefit where I wanted to go.
Wow, that's so beautiful. I love it. Okay, so if you could tell your younger self something today, what would it be? Your young 15-year-old self or 16-year-old self, what would it be?
I would. I mean, whatever I did got me here, so it'd be hard to be in a better position than I'm in right now. I would say,
Believe.
yeah, it's hard. I feel like even at that age, I knew this was all gonna happen. I never really doubted it, other than there was moments in training when I was losing and stuff. But for the most part, I always just knew this was gonna happen. It was such a weird feeling. It wasn't like, oh, this might happen. It was like, oh, I'm gonna be rich and famous and have do whatever I want.
You know it was going to be from fighting?
I didn't. I thought I wanted to be in the NFL at first. Until I realized real fast that I'm 5'11", 100. I was not a big kid. I'm like that ain't gonna happen. I wanted to be an athlete. I knew that. And then when I just started boxing, kickboxing, I was like, oh, fighting is gonna be it.
Wow, so powerful. Give me something that your family would tell about you that's funny.
Um, Some of my family would say about me is I don't know. I'm pretty sure I was just a little shit growing up. Just like always into trouble, just doing stuff that I shouldn't be doing, and I don't even know what that is.
I could see that kind of, but that shaped you.
I was a class clown. I was always trying to be funny. I was trying to make people laugh. Um, but I guess that doesn't really answer your question. I don't know. I don't know what they would say. I guess we'd have to ask.
That's interesting. I love that. It's so good. Well, I've loved having you on today. This has been amazing. I feel like I could talk to you for hours, and we probably will just like jam on other things at some point. Thank you so much for having us and for coming on today.
Yes, we'll go check out the farm if you guys have time.
Yeah, amazing. So everyone, you can follow Sean O'Malley everywhere. I'm going to put all of his tags below. Every single thing, you can go and watch him. The fight's coming up in March the 9th. Make sure that you're there for it. Get your tickets now. I'm going to be there. I'm actually going to make this happen. Babes, I might even come ringside with you. I'm like, you're not going to be watching this like she actually did it. Honey, I manifest everything I want. Yeah, I will. I'll definitely wear that pink suit because I wear crazy pink stuff all the time. That's my jam. Damn, I wish I'd worn that today. So silly.
No, that looks good.
I would have matched the Kanye. Yeah, today I'm like nice and chill. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you again next week. Thank you for coming.